I mean, Spencer Rattler is like going to a house getting pretzels, right? Like, you're just expecting more. I mean,
you'll eat the pretzels still.
Yeah, like it's fine. You weren't really wanting it, and you're kind of expecting more from it. Like you wanted candy.
You want candy.
But Tyler Shuck is like you're in a big neighborhood, and there's this big house at the end, and you're like, man, I'm going to get some full-size candy bars in here. And you walk up, you take your time walking up their giant driveway, you get to the top, you spent a lot of time getting there, and it's a dentist, and he drops you a toothbrush.
Brother drops you a toothbrush.
You spent so much time, a second-round draft pick, and now you just have to use it. You kind of have to use the toothbruch. You don't want to.
You're not going to go throw it away.
Yeah, I mean...
It is still a toothbrush.
Right.
You use it every night.
And it's going to get old fast.
It is.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a Halloween edition of Field Goals and Forecast presented by Afterthought Sports, now on WSVU 88.3 FM, The Buzz. Week 8 of the NFL season has just passed us, and honestly, if I had to come up with a word to explain this week, I would say disappointing.
Disappointing?
It was a disappointing week for me. I feel like, and boring is a good one as well. I would throw boring in there, disappointing, kind of a bad week of football, honestly.
We don't always say this, actually. You usually, you open the show actually probably the same way every single time, pretty decent week of football, Not the case here. You're disappointed.
I was pretty disappointed this week, I won't lie. It has something to do with the Falcons losing, but I really don't want to talk about that.
It definitely does.
So, but also, just a lot of bad games this week. And all my fantasy teams pretty much lost. A lot of bad bye weeks.
I dropped 170 in my favorite league this week.
I think I put up 70, like just straight 70.
It was a great week for me. But a lot of blowouts. Lots of blowouts.
Yeah.
We can get into the favorite
We'll definitely
blowout.
get into that later. But let's talk about, like you said, the favorite blowout. The Buffalo Bills dominate the Carolina Panthers. They win this one 40-9. Sean McDermott is now 9-0 after the bye week, and he just kind of attributes it to luck. I guess maybe we just have a bad matchup after every single bye week, but I feel like there's got to be something there.
He says him being 9-0 after a bye week is luck.
That is what he claims.
Okay, so he doesn't do anything in particular on a bye week. He's just kind of like, all right, go.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of just said it himself. But anyway, it doesn't matter. If you got a guy like James Cook,
you're golden.
It doesn't matter who you're playing after the bye week. James Cook had 19 carries, 216 yards, 2 touchdowns. If I had to compare him to a candy, I would say he's a Snickers bar. I mean, if you don't have James Cook, you're not the same team. You're not you when you don't have a Snickers bar.
I mean, come on. You got to keep feeding James Cook. He is one of those guys. And I mean, yes, James Cook was the one running the ball, but the offensive line was moving guys, like making huge holes. And I mean, James Cook is good enough where with the push that they get, he was getting like a free 7 yards every time, and then anything else he could do with the ball after that was just a little extra, and he got that extra pretty often. I'm not gonna lie.
That extra was a 64-yard touchdown. That was his second longest of his career, the longest rush for him this season, obviously. I don't even know what to say about his game. Just dominant on all fronts. I mean, one of his best games of his career, probably.
Straight up dominant. Made Josh Allen look like he was bored back there. I mean, that kind of goes in with what you said. Boring week of football. Josh Allen was certainly... take it, James.
Hey, trick or treat, pal.
Hey, trick or treat. Hey, I like that.
Just
trick or treat.
Handing it straight off to him. Let him go.
No, but he makes Josh Allen's job very easy when we're running the ball this reliably, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
We impose our will on that end of the ball. I mean, not always as much as 200 yards on the ground, but it's something we're capable of, and we're at our best when we do that. We're not us when we're hungry. We're not us when we don't run the ball with James Cook.
And he's consistent. He's always going to be pretty good. You can always grab a Snickers bar and just, you know it's going to be decent. You know?
Exactly. And it's not even a too sweet of a candy bar where you can low-key eat it all the time. Like there's nuts in there, bro. Come on. That's healthy for you. That's good. That's good stuff.
That is great stuff. And you know what else is great? First 200-yard game of his career. So probably, honestly, his best game. Maybe that one against Dallas could really rival it.
That was a pretty good one, too.
The third Bills player all time to record 214-plus rushing yards and 2 touchdowns in the same game. His 158, first half rushing yards performance is the most in team history since week 6 in 2016 when they put up 164. So he lost it by about 6 yards.
Wow. Dominance.
10
That's
years,
all
yeah, 10
you,
years.
that's all you can say.
A game like this in 10 years.
Yeah.
Can the offense really survive without him, or do you think they need him to survive?
I mean, we don't need what we got from him this past week. We need, I hate to say you need 100 yards. You really don't. You just need to be able to run the ball when you want to. And more times than not, we've been able to, but there are some games where we've kind of gotten away from it. And it's like, those are the games where, yeah, the Falcons are going to surprise you. They're going to beat you because you didn't run the ball very well in the first half of that game whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know, we ended up running the ball. Second half, fine. But it's got to be a whole game kind of thing. And, you know, you never need 200 yards, but you do need James Cook.
Would you argue the offense and maybe even the offensive line is built around James Cook at this point? Maybe the offensive game plan? I feel like Joe Brady,
maybe
game plan right now is very good in the run game. Passing game, though, there's been a lot of struggles. So
yeah, you would love to see a little bit more continuity from the run game. Not as much of a struggle from one week to the next. I think maybe that's where we've just kind of been beaten. Our only 2 losses in this season have been when we haven't ran the ball very well. So I think it's an emphasis, and considering they emphasized it, and then this week happens.
Yeah.
You can only imagine they're just going to buy in, let's run the ball. And then, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you're going to run for 200 yards, just keep handing the ball off. But it has to be a crucial part of our game plan going forward, in my opinion. It's got to be the centralized point, in my opinion.
Yeah, and when you're struggling through the air in the way that they are right now, Allen was 12 for 19, 163 yards, just that solo touchdown. And that solo touchdown came on a long reception from Khalil Shakir, who had a great game as well. 6 receptions, 88 yards.
Yes.
And then, of course, Allen had the 3 carries, 2 touchdowns, 7 yards, whatever. But why are they struggling so much through the air right now? I don't understand.
I don't think it's a struggle through the air at all. He only threw 19 passes, completed 12. We ran for 200 yards. I'm not concerned at all.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to have a conversation about struggling through the air with Josh Allen. I think it's a little cherry pick to say, only 163 yards he struggled. I think we dominated running the ball. We would have been dumb to do anything else.
It's fair enough. Yeah,
that's what I think.
Allen now has the second most rushing touchdowns for a QB in NFL history.
That was
behind
pretty
Cam
cool.
Newton. Third most touchdowns in Bills history, passing O.J. Simpson. And is Joe Brady the reason for maybe the lack of passing right now, the increase in running? Where would you say, is it his fault or is it the wide receivers? Is Josh just not getting enough help maybe even?
I think there were definitely some games like, again, that Falcons game, that Patriots game, where we kind of wanted to rely on our receivers to get some separation, get some looks down the field. And you can tell those were the games that it didn't really work, And I think Joe Brady took note of that and said, we're just going to run the ball because we can run the ball. Our offensive line is great at run blocking. I mean, they're good at pass protecting as well. Josh Allen does kind of protect himself in the same breath there. But we're such a good run blocking team. There's no reason not to just, it's the safest play too. And, not saying Josh Allen has any safety concerns with the football. He really doesn't at this point in his career, but it's always going to be way more safe to run the ball.
Yeah. To me, Joe Brady is like a good and plenty, kind of got that candy outside. You got Josh Allen, you got James Cook, and you bite into it. It's like that black licorice, like struggles here, struggles there. I don't know. That's kind of how I view it, maybe.
Yeah.
You're kind of expecting more.
You are expecting more. I'll say that. Definitely some games where they start off and you're like, what is going on?
Right.
Screen pass to, Dawson Knox.
There we go. Young Coleman, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fun one. But of course, it wasn't just the Bills who dominated. The Panthers really struggled in this one. But behind Andy Dalton, what did you expect?
I expected him to go out and throw for 350. said nobody.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not expecting much from him. Do the Bills have this like beat up the bad teams narrative right now? I mean, the Jets, the Dolphins, the Panthers, the Ravens-ish.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even count that.
Yeah. I mean, you could definitely argue that right now. And you could cite that and say, these guys aren't true contenders. Who have they beaten? Yeah, you could say that. It's a sound reasoning.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to beat up on the bad teams. And at least we're doing that. One loss to the Patriots. They're a 6-2 team right now. They lost to the Falcons. I mean, bad week for them, but still a very talented team, and honestly a game where I think we just got out-coached a little bit almost, you know? Yeah. So maybe we do beat up on the bad teams, but you have to.
Yeah, if you're a good team, you have to beat the bad teams by a lot. I mean, that's just kind of the law of equivalent exchange. But obviously, with good things come bad things. A lot of new Bills coming back this week. Max Harrison coming back, Michael Hoyt coming back, Larry Ogunjobi, all those guys making their debut. But of course, at what cost? Ed Oliver, out maybe for the season, potentially with a bicep tear, now on the injured reserve.
Yeah, I told Ed, put down those 250-pound dumbbells. Put them down. He said, no. I must keep. And then he tore his bicep right in front of me.
Well, he went to the pumpkin patch, picked out the biggest one. He was trying to impress his girlfriend, lifted it up, and there goes his bicep, man. I mean,
500-pound pumpkin. He tried to he'd start, but it's too much.
Ed, you just can't do that.
I mean, he did lift it. Like sources say, it was above his head actually at one point, and he was about to start throwing it.
Yeah, he was looking to show off, but at what cost?
At what cost?
Yeah, but obviously next week at home, gonna miss him against the Chiefs. The Chiefs, the pain in the Bills' side, it's just been continuously this big rivalry between two teams that are not in the same division. I almost said conference. That's not correct. What do you kind of expect out of this game? What do you expect from both teams?
Well, I mean, you did mention Michael Hoyt made his debut. He's going to play a lot more football. Yeah. Ed Oliver is out. We're going to need him to play a lot more. And, he didn't look too bad in that game. So I kind of look forward to seeing him some more. I expect the Chiefs to be able to run the ball, though. No Ed Oliver means there's not going to be any of those plays made. Like that tackle for loss on Derrick Henry, and the couple tackles for loss that he had. Those are huge. Those are drive killers. You go from a 2nd and 7 to a 2nd and 12, and now you kind of have a place where maybe you can get them to punt. The playmaking ability is almost gone for this Bills defense right now, unless, like I mentioned, Hoyt can make some plays, guys can step up, but I expect them to be able to run the ball. It's going to be the classic, almost nickel and dime their way down the field because we love sitting back in our zones.
Yeah.
I hope the Bills can pull it out. We have our predictions at the end, but
exactly.
I never have that much faith going into these matchups.
It's always just I'm always going to be like, the Chiefs are going to win. And then I'm happy to be, wrong about that, but I don't want to go in thinking the Bills are going to win and be disappointed. So,
and like home field advantage matters so much in the playoffs, but it's almost like, man, how many times are you going to beat them in the regular season, then lose in the playoffs?
Yeah, that's what happens every
I'll almost take a loss in the regular season. Don't show them anything.
Right.
Don't show them anything.
I'm on board with that.
Give them the Dawson Knox screen pass, 5,000. All right. Run that 4 times.
Yeah.
Don't give them no scouting report on nothing. All right.
Maybe we'll go Josh Allen design run on 1st down.
Yes.
And then a screen pass to Dawson Knox on 2nd down. And then a 40-yard pass down the left side to Keon Coleman that's like 20 yards over his head. And then we'll punt it on 4th down. Don't give him anything really to work off.
Yeah.
Don't let him know your game plan at all. But
exactly.
Honestly, I hope it'll just be a good game. I hope the Chiefs don't come and blow us out because they're playing really, really good football.
They are playing really well right now.
But we got to move into our field goals of the week. And no, we're not talking about kicks. We're talking about the good, the no good, and the not even close. I mean, in other words, what went well this week and what just didn't. If we're talking about trick or treat, this is the treat portion of this show.
The treat.
And you know what? The tight ends, they deserve a good treat because they showed out on tight ends day. I mean, I could go through all these stats, but Tucker Kraft, George Kittle, Dallas Goedert, Gunnar Helm, the Titans rookie from Texas, Kyle Pitts, Harold Fannin, Mason Taylor, Oronde Gadsden. He's not really even like a tight end, but he's technically listed as a tight end right now.
He is.
That's your guy out of Syracuse.
Come on,
Come
baby.
on. Tight ends this week. It's awesome.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
I love to see my boy Oronde. You know, we're on a first name basis, the two of us. You know, like
Mr. Gads.
hung out all the Mr. Gadsden to you.
Yeah.
Mr. Gadsden the third actually to you, but no, not actually. But I love to see the success. I did say start him in fantasy.
That's true.
You know, pays off. But also Kyle Pitts too. Almost reaching the 10 reception mark. You know, has that happened in his career?
When yeah, I think he's had.
Has it? Maybe
might have
a couple times, but you know,
probably his rookie year. But
those are the two that stood out to me just because I love those two guys.
But the thing with Kyle Pitts is like I can be happy that he played well, but I know that he was just the only target on the team, so I can't be that happy.
No, you can't. That was a terrible game.
Obviously, Tucker Kraft is the big one here. 7 for 9, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, looking like the wide receiver 1 on the Green Bay Packers offense. And Dallas Goedert, 3 for 3, 28 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's a fantasy killer right there.
Yeah. I did start him in the league that I have him. I'm not going to lie. I clocked tight ends day and I was like, oh crap, I need a flex.
Yeah, he's a touchdown machine.
Bang.
Only tight end that really, from my mind, didn't play up to their expectations, Jake Ferguson. Tight end 1 in fantasy. Big old goose egg on the board.
It was almost due to happen at some point. I mean, he was tight end 1 nothing against Jake Ferguson, but like was not expected, you know. It kind of regressed to the mean a little bit, I feel like.
And of course, rookie tight end Mason Taylor, 5 for 8, 34 yards, touchdown, and a game-winning touchdown.
Yeah.
The Jets get their first win of the season. They move to what, 1-7, 1-6?
1-7.
1-7.
On the was it a Breece Hall touchdown pass?
It was a Breece Hall touchdown pass.
Trick play.
To Mason Taylor in the back of the end zone. Fields played pretty well. 21 of 32, 244 yards, a touchdown. He's like candy corn, right? Sometimes you're like, man, this guy's good. And other times you're like, I don't even want to be near candy corn. This is the worst candy I've ever seen.
No, it's very polarizing.
Yep.
Some people hate candy corn. The Jets owner hates candy corn.
Absolutely.
He's an outspoken anti-candy corn activist, actually.
And if you're the Jets, are you reaching back in the candy corn bowl in 2 weeks?
Yeah, probably.
I think you have to.
Probably. I mean you haven't won until this. I mean, come on.
Sure, it wasn't all him. Breece Hall, have a day, 18 carries, 133 yards, 2 touchdowns, and of course that passing touchdown. But when your leading receiver is Tyler Johnson, 3 receptions, 64 yards, touchdown. It's on Fields. I didn't even put his rushing stats in there, but he had a good rushing day as well. You kind of have to start him. He was your prized possession to get him free agency. Am I wrong about that?
No,
he was their number 1 signing.
You do want to start him over Tyrod Taylor. You have to, but it just sucks that just last week the owner himself came out and said how bad Justin Fields has been.
Yeah.
And then he does this. I mean, maybe keep talking, keep talking, you got to motivate him somehow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I'm happy for him. He came out and said he was like crying and stuff. So I'm glad he's back. I'm always going to be rooting for Justin Fields. I still think he's got life in him for sure. But on the other side, we got to get into the no good.
Yes.
The trick in the trick or treat. The Bengals lose to the winless Jets. We can't just gloss over that.
There's a flip side to that coin.
Gobstopper Joe Flacco, 21 of 34 yards, 21 of 34, 233 yards, 2 touchdowns. He
doesn't go away.
Coming back. Yeah, he just keeps coming back. Played a good game. Did get injured though, so that's something to monitor.
I was very concerned.
Goes on.
Yeah.
They fall to 3-5. Their playoff hopes are once again just pushed straight down the grave, right? And you kind of look at, is Zach Taylor the problem? Is the offensive line? What do you blame? The defense, the defensive coordinator, Zach Taylor?
I mean, it's a bit of a combination between the offensive line and maybe some coaching. It's so hard when you're not playing the quarterback you want, that this team is built around.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, you could argue they really haven't built an offensive line for Joe Burrow. We went over this actually. Yeah. He's not.
They got him one weapon and
Still, technically, team built around Joe Burrow. They don't have him. They got Joe Flacco.
Yeah,
he's great. But I think when you got a guy who's especially not as mobile, he's not gonna, evade sacks. He got sacked 6 times in this game, so that's gonna be hard to survive too.
I think the Bengals, their playoff hopes, they're buried 6 feet under right now. And honestly, I've seen a lot of Bengals fans, a lot of, people who support the Bengals coming out and saying, thanks, Zach, for the Super Bowl run. We got to move on. So I have seen a lot of fingers pointed at him as well. And I'm on that boat as well. I completely understand that cause. And I think if your team doesn't have a winning mentality, despite losing like your best players, I just think it's got to be coaching. I don't know.
Yeah,
I could say the same thing about the Falcons, honestly. Their best players go out and they can't get anything done.
It is. I mean, you do have to have the next man up mentality. I feel like that's the Bills essentially. Like the Bills do that very well. I feel like with regardless of who's out, but like at quarterback, that's a position that's hard to deal with. Maybe you can make that case for the Falcons. I understand Kirk played this week, so I know that kind of applies to you as well. But missing your all NFL quarterback. I mean, come on, all NFL. It's not. Is that a thing? All NFL. I'm thinking all NBA, all pro. Sorry, all NFL. No,
he was definitely an all pro last year. But Bengals, at least they've still got some hope.
They do.
The Giants, they might have just lost all hope. And really, this could be in the not even close. This could be put in a separate category, just sad. Like, just a sad category. Because Cam Skattebo, his ankle is done in. Gone. Twisted the wrong direction, man. Dislocated, but he's out for the season, confirmed. The Giants, obviously, they fall to the Eagles, 38-20. And kind of, this season is a bit like a Butterfinger, You're really excited for it. You got a lot of hopes. You got a new QB, a good rookie running back, a pretty good defense with a strong defensive line. You open it up, you start eating it. It's pretty good, and then it just falls apart. The whole thing just crumbles.
When you open one that's kind of been at the bottom of the candy bowl for a while, and you just open it, and it's already just just totally falling apart.
Malik Neighbors down.
It's really good though.
Cam Skattebo down. I mean, those are 2 huge weapons. This team's going to take a hit. Obviously, they got a bright future ahead of them, but right now, just not looking good. And the team did not look the same after his injury.
No, especially because of the nature of the injury too. You see one of your guys that he's always screaming, "Whoa!" He's always going out there playing his hardest, and then he's a guy that's on the field with his ankle turned the wrong way, and you're like, you realize probably for a second. I mean, I can't put myself exactly in an NFL player's shoes, but you probably think for a second like, oh crap.
Right.
Like this actually could happen to any one of us at a given time, because Cam's one of the toughest guys in the league.
Right. Yeah.
He's known for really not caring about any kind of head health or anything.
Yeah.
So it just really sucks, especially because of who he is and the nature of the injury. But I don't think the Giants are going to be mad. They'll get a better draft pick probably from losing some more games.
Obviously, the team is just devastated. But you are right. I mean, this could lead down a better path. This is a team that is definitely still in a rebuild mode.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the whole team devastated. Dart especially very, very devastated on the sideline. Seems to be a bit of a reoccurring Giants issue. Their star players getting hurt. But that's a separate topic aside.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Eagles on the other side. The tush-push controversy, is it just too much? Do you think, honestly, they'll go into the offseason and say, there's just too much controversy surrounding the tush-push right now. We have to get rid of it. I mean, Kayvon Thibodeau rips the ball out, but Jalen Hurts is ruled down. That's a big deal. I mean, a lot of people very upset about this.
And a awesome reaction from Brian Dable after they did not overturn that. That was maybe my favorite part of the entire game, is seeing how pissed he was. But I don't really see them getting rid of the tush push. maybe you can get some more teams to vote against it.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like that takes some lobbying. I don't know if there's actually enough to really ban it. It's an ugly play.
Yeah.
I hate it. It's boring. Yeah, maybe they should. I'm convinced.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, yeah, I feel like you get into the offseason, you're like, think about all the people that were like, oh man, I hate watching the tush push. Like, oh man, this controversy, false start, rip the ball out, like, yeah, like all this stuff, and it's like, man, we just got to get rid of it. It's just time.
It's a problem. It could grow into a problematic play the more that teams try to use it and embrace it, because it's just the more you use something, that you're not going to find some, like, as the years go on, there's going to be less and less tush push supporters.
In my opinion. I agree. But let's move into the not even close. And if we're talking trick or treat, this is like a nightmare. This is like you pull up to a house and they give you an eraser. Like, this is just terrible stuff.
Pencil.
And honestly, I said it already, but this week was a nightmare for me. It
kind of was, yeah.
A lot of one-sided games this week, including a few upsets. But this was the first NFL Sunday with one or less games decided by single digits since 1970.
Oh, so this actually was a historically bad
week.
Okay, thanks for pointing that out.
One game, and it was Bengals-Jets. The only game that was within single digits of each other.
That's good.
Yeah, so let's just run through this, because this
take us through the games here.
This is like a graveyard. Tyler Shuck has replaced Spencer Rattler at QB1. The Bucks beat them 23-3. I mean, Spencer Rattler is like going to a house getting pretzels, right? Like, you're just expecting more. I mean,
you'll eat the pretzels still.
Yeah, like, it's fine. You weren't really wanting it, and you're kind of expecting more from it. Like, you wanted candy.
You want candy,
but Tyler Shuck is like you're in a big neighborhood and there's this big house at the end, and you're like, man, I'm going to get some full-size candy bars in here. And you walk up, you take your time walking up their giant driveway, you get to the top, you spent a lot of time getting there, and it's a dentist, and he drops you a toothbrush.
Brother drops you a toothbrush.
You spent so much time, a second-round draft pick, and now you just have to use it. You kind of have to use the toothbruch. You don't want to.
You're not going to go throw it away.
Yeah, I mean,
it is still a toothbrush.
Right.
You use it every night.
And it's going to get old fast.
It is.
You're only going to be able to use it for so long.
He's not giving away the good toothbrushes. Exactly. He's giving away the bad toothbrushes. They are, at least.
That's how I feel about these two quarterbacks. But this game was just pushing it aside. Don't even really want to talk about it. And I don't want to talk about this next one either, because the Colts are steamrolling right now. They take down a division opponent, Titans, and Jonathan Taylor has now 2 straight games with 3 touchdowns in both games, and he has 3 on the season. Is he an MVP caliber quarterback?
Running back. Sorry, you said quarterback. We're good.
Running back.
He should just start playing out of the Wildcat for the Colts, though. Just throw him at quarterback, like one drive per quarter.
Caliber player.
I mean,
yes.
You can't imagine this continues. If it does, by far. 3 touchdowns a game, almost averaging at this point. That's ridiculous. But you have to imagine his numbers are going to, kind of plateau at some point. He's not going to continue to have 100, 200 total yards, receiving and running, or all-purpose yards, in a game. I think he can still do it if he, can manage like 100 yards a game for the rest of the season, maybe multiple touchdowns. It's a running back. It's going to be hard to make the case. The quarterback usually gets the majority
I was thinking,
of the credit. But, this is just phenomenal what he's doing.
Right. Jonathan Taylor, it's like going trick-or-treating and getting a $20 bill.
Yeah.
You were expecting it to be pretty good, but not that good.
You're trick-or-treating. You're like 10, $20.
Yeah. That's like your allowance for the next 3 months.
Yeah, like you can go buy like multiple bags of candy.
Exactly.
It's not a single candy bar. This is bags of candy.
But next game, Ravens over Bears. Ravens win 30-16.
We were wrong on this one.
What even happened there? The Bears are like sweetest fish, When you see a bag of sweetest fish, you're like, oh man, I thought those would taste really good. You got high expectations. Then you start eating them, and you just get worse and worse as you eat more. They're kind of hard. They hurt your teeth, and then they just kill your expectations.
I feel like I just always end up with a stomach ache.
Yeah, you're just disappointed.
I still like the taste of Swedish fish, but the stomach ache afterwards is diabolical, in my opinion. Like, it's just not good. It leaves a bad taste, not in your mouth, I guess, but it hits hard, and not in the good way. The Bears, what the hell?
Yeah.
I mean,
for the Ravens, at least, they're like a zombie coming out of the grave right now. They're still alive. They're looking.
I thought you were dead already, kind of thing. But
they're back, and now Lamar Jackson will play next week.
Kind of a crucial week for them. Instead of being 1-6, they're 2-5. I mean, a 5-loss team is a big difference from a 6-loss team. The room for error is so much more.
And go take a look at the rest of their schedule. Don't have it right now, but it is not. It's a cakewalk. I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty easy.
This win might be overlooked at the end of the season, but that is a huge game for them to win.
A few more here. Broncos over Cowboys, 44-24. Whatever, Cowboys. I thought you were better than that.
Yeah.
Patriots over Browns. I didn't think you were better than that. But I did know Myles Garrett's pretty good. He's got 5 sacks, and he loses the game. I mean, the Browns are like a box of chocolate. You open it up, and there's just so many bad flavors.
Yeah, like
coconut. You got the weird malt flavor.
The sea salt, like dark chocolate.
But right in the middle,
I don't mind.
There's one really, really, really good piece of chocolate. That's Myles Garrett.
Yeah, like the caramel one.
Yep.
It's like got that.
One really good piece. And honestly, he was asked about it, and they asked him about how the offense just fails to produce despite his defensive performance. And he goes, it doesn't get any easier each week you ask me. I would throw the whole performance away for a win.
Someone get this guy on another team for the love of God.
To be fair,
you
decided to stay here, bro.
That is true.
You were like, I can't stay here because I don't see a winning future. Then they handed you the bag and you stayed, buddy. You can't be that mad about it.
I need to see the PowerPoint presentation they showed him in that meeting to get him to stay, because I just can't imagine what gets you to stay on the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
I believe you. We're gonna win in a couple years. It's bad.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Very sorry, Myles Garrett.
Yeah. But of course, 2 more games.
Continue.
Chiefs over Commanders 28-7 on Monday Night Football, and of course, the Miami Dolphins over the Atlanta Falcons 34-10.
That was atrocious.
That. Yeah. But of the Chiefs over the Commanders, I didn't even watch. I watched half of it because it was just boring.
Just
especially with the World Series game we just got.
I mean, come on. Yeah. That was a phenomenal game.
Yeah, can't be bothered. But that is all for our field goals of the week. Let's get into the extra point, where we're going to have some Halloween themed trivia for you.
Yeah, so I mean, not necessarily trivia, but I kind of want to gauge what you think on some of these. The goal is here, or the name of the game is Trick or Treat. Okay. I've got 8 questions for you, all right? And the first one we already touched on. Jonathan Taylor as the MVP of the National Football League. Is that a trick or is that a treat?
That's a treat.
It's a treat.
That up, because I honestly believe if the Colts make a strong playoff push, he will be a top MVP favorite.
Do you think they have to be top 1 or 2 seeds or win their division? Is that enough?
On the pace that he's at right now, I don't think it matters where they place. He's on pace to have the best running back season of all time. If you're going to put it that way, he has to win MVP.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, Offensive Player of the Year at this point, check that off the ballot. But MVP, I think he could definitely make a case for that.
All right, another one for you. The Bucks possibly contending for a Super Bowl. Is that a trick or treat?
Honestly, James, it's a trick.
All right.
I'm not buying into it. And they've had a lot of really close games this year.
They have. I mean, Baker Mayfield's an MVP candidate, just as we were talking about it.
They've slowed down a bit as of recent. Rely very heavy on their running game. When Bucky Irving comes back, they'll have some gears turning, right?
Yeah.
But again, very close games this year. And in those tough games, per se the Lions, they just can't keep up.
Okay. So you're going to lean towards trick right there.
Yeah. I think they're a good team, They're not ready to take that next step to Super Bowl contenders just yet.
All right, now we've got the Patriots making the playoffs and maybe winning a game. You got trick or treat. Because I will say, I wanted to just ask Patriots make the playoffs. I think they do at this point.
Yeah.
Do you think they win a game when they get there? Trick or treat?
I'm gonna go with treat.
Okay.
I will.
All right.
Because let's say they're the 5 or 6 seed. The AFC is pretty weak this year. I think I could see them, squeaking out a win against maybe like the Chargers or maybe like a Denver. I could see them squeaking out one of those wins. It's going to be tough though. If it's a treat, it's like there's pretzels. It's not a good one, but it'll get there.
You don't want to see them, preferably that 5 seed too, because you don't want to see the Colts or the Bills or either of those teams. So it could be interesting for them come playoff time. So now here we go. Dealing with some injuries, but Jaden Daniels, bit of a sophomore slump, if you will. Is that a trick or is that a treat?
Oh, that's a tough one, That is tough. I don't know if I'm going to blame it completely on Jaden Daniels, but I am going to go trick here.
All right.
I don't think he's the quarterback we saw last year, and it's nothing to his fault. He's been dealing with some injuries. His offensive line has been poor, very, very poor. And I think he just doesn't have enough time to get situated. I think his legs are still great, but the Commanders are not the team that they were by any means last year. And they've had a lot of injuries. McLaurin's been out. Debo's been kind of in and out dealing with some stuff. Obviously, Jaden Daniels coming back from an injury just hasn't looked the same. I'm going to go trick.
Yeah, and you could even argue they were early bloomers last year, and they kind of rushed to bring in some guy. What was it? Lattimore they traded for, I believe. So, maybe a little too hasty. I don't know. Was the team ready for it? Bobby
Wagner's been good. Von Miller's actually been surprisingly pretty good. Marshawn Lattimore hasn't lived up to the name, but Trey Amos, great player. So at least there's that.
Yeah, actually, I'll skip the next one. I'll say 2025 NFL draft class so far. Ooh. Trick or treat?
That is a treat, in my opinion.
I think there's been a good amount of rookies here.
Great so far. Cam Ward's looked pretty good. Dylan Gabriel's nothing to, scoff at. Jackson Dart obviously been great. Skattebo's been great.
Running backs have really burst onto the scene.
Marion Hampton's been great.
Quinshon
Judkins has been great. Travion Henderson, not so much. RJ Harvey's looking up. Who are some receivers from this class? I feel like I'm completely missing receivers.
I don't know why I can only think of Alec Iomanner.
Ted McMillan. Iomanner's been good.
Golden's been okay.
Trey Amos has been good. In the one game that he played, Max Hairston's been pretty good.
Okay.
There was another corner that I was thinking of, but it doesn't matter. This class has been pretty good so far.
Even Emin War, he's been pretty good safety position.
He's been great in.
But yeah. We'll move on. We can list rookies forever. We literally could. But
my brain hit a dead stop. So.
We got the Chicago Bears playoff chances. Trick or treat? They just lost to a Lamar-less Ravens.
It's a trick.
All right. They're 4-3 still.
I hate to say it. The NFC is way too tough for the Chicago Bears right now. In a tough division, in a tough conference, I just can't see them sneaking in anywhere.
All right. I kind of believe you there. I'm with you on that one. Yeah. Let's go. Cam Ward in Tennessee. Is that good for his future? Do you think trick or treat?
Well, okay. Trick, I guess. But I think Cam Ward is a treat. He's played at a pretty decent level. He showed a lot of flashes to me where I believe he can be a good quarterback. But Tennessee is not a place for a young quarterback to develop right now.
Yeah, I mean, the question I'm kind of asking is, by the time rookie contracts are up a couple years down the line, is he rushing to get out of there, you think? Or do you think they can get a team together soon enough?
Yeah. I think
they can? Okay,
so there's promise there for sure.
So
get a new head coach in there. Okay. The GM's looking up.
Looking like a trick right now, but maybe a treat?
Maybe a treat soon. Okay. I think so. You've got your key pieces, really. Corner 1, QB 1.
That is true, yeah.
decent receivers, I guess.
Even Tyjae Spears is, starting to take a little bit more from Tony Pollard, but he's looked pretty good.
It's a solid two-headed backfield and very mid, but solid.
Yeah, and the rapport that Ward builds up with receivers over the next couple of years is, Iomander's going to be there for a while, you can imagine. So that'll be big. And then, we already talked about Cam Ward. This is someone who's just a little bit further down the line. Bryce Young in Carolina, trick or treat. 4-4 record right now for the Carolina Panthers.
In all honesty, and I love Bryce Young. I do. He's such a good guy. I really want to see him.
You know him personally?
From what I've seen, he's a great guy. I really want him to succeed, but man, that's a trick. And the Panthers just can't get it done.
They can't hang. I don't know. I kind of agree with you there. It's almost like you want to give him like 1 or 2 more years, but then you're like, wait a minute, how long has it been?
Exactly. Last year, at the end of the year, he started looking up and we're like, okay, maybe the Panthers got their guy. Then this year he struggled a bit. Now he's injured. Yuck. Well, just yuck. Yeah. You got black licorice. You're like, yeah, I should have been treated better than this,
All right, well, that's all I got for your trick or treat edition.
That was good. I like that. That was tough at the end there.
Yeah, I know. Hey, you got to provoke thought.
Right. Well, thank you, James.
Yeah, no problem. I don't mind making the games every once in a while. I'm a good game maker.
Sure.
That was my nickname in high school.
Oh, yeah. But let's get into our fantasy starts and sits. I'm 24-16 across the board in starts and sits, and I went 5-0 in my starts last week. James, I can't see your record. I don't know where you're at.
So 21-19 starts.
Okay.
I went 3-2 last week, so I improved.
Yeah.
Sits. I'm sorry, guys. I'm 20-20, 1-4 last week.
Yeah. Sits were tough last week. I went 2 for 3. That makes
sense. I try to pick guys that you wouldn't normally start or wouldn't normally sit.
Yeah.
So 50% isn't bad if you look at it that way.
Yeah.
But I am going to, if this record keeps getting worse and worse, I'm going to start cherry picking better players to start and worse players to sit.
I'm okay with that. Well, let's start with the QB. I'm going to start Caleb Williams. I know I just kind of trash talked him a bit, but against Cincinnati, I think anybody can succeed. They really need to bounce back in this one, and the Bengals defense gives up the 4th most points to quarterback. Yeah,
I'm going to have to go Matthew Stafford. He's coming off a bye. Puka comes back. He's been one of the best fantasy quarterbacks anyways. I think this is a match made in heaven.
Yeah, absolutely. Wide receiver, Jordan Addison against Detroit. Kind of forgotten, but has been very consistent in fantasy so far. Detroit has a very banged up secondary. JJ is playing, so maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a bad thing. Detroit right now gives up the 3rd most points to wide receivers. But I'm a little worried about the JJ start, but honestly, he was his number 1 target in preseason, so I'm thinking that connection's built.
Okay, hey, that's good. I like the reasoning, the rationale behind that one. I like that.
I hope so, at least. I got him in every league. So.
Well, I'm going to have to start. Marvin Harrison Jr. has straight up not produced in fantasy so far this year, but you have to imagine a guy of his talent going up against a Dallas secondary. He's got to catch at least 1 bomb for a touchdown, right? He doesn't need to have
time too.
Exactly. He doesn't need to have 6+ receptions or anything crazy like that. But I think just a couple looks down the field, Kyler Murray should have plenty of time too. Come on. He's got to have it this week.
How about running back? What do you got?
I'm going to go with Kamani Vidal at running back. He's playing
your guy,
a bad Tennessee defense that, not bad, but look at what Jonathan Taylor just did to them. And Vidal coming off a couple solid weeks where, he's obviously the clear-cut one in that situation, and it's some receiving work as well, so can't hate on Vidal right now.
Yeah, and at running back for me, I'm going to say, here's where it gets tricky. I'm going to say Isaiah Pacheco, but if he's hurt, Kareem Hunt is my choice. So I'm backing myself up here. I got a safety plan. Against Buffalo, it just feels like something that would happen. And Buffalo right now gives up the 5th most points to running back.
Okay. What about tight end?
I know it's going to be pretty obvious, but Tyler Warren against Pittsburgh should be something you should circle. Make sure that he is starting 100%. I don't care who you have. Tucker Kraft just went off on them.
Yeah.
And it's pretty obvious. Like I said that already, but they give up the second most points to tight end. Tyler Warren has been going crazy in the Colts offense right now.
I mean, if you're blessed enough to have maybe a Jake Ferguson and a Tyler Warren, that's a double tight end start this week, I think.
Tight ends have been solid in the flex recently.
They actually, yes, they have been. I just did that this week. Goddard, Ferguson. Ferguson didn't work, but whatever. I'm going to go Jonnu Smith, though, against the Colts. I mean, they're going to be playing from behind. They're going to be dropping back a lot. The one thing about the Steelers that they did so poorly last week is they didn't protect Aaron Rodgers, and he's not mobile enough to avoid these sacks. They're going to be looking for the quick stuff. That's what Jonnu Smith does. The little hitch route, 5 yards, come back. It's the Kyle Pitts special. Yeah. Jonnu Smith should rack up some receptions, and I'm just hoping one of them gets in the end zone, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I feel like that's fair to say. And then at flex, I have, with a big question mark next to it, Ricky Pearsall at the New York Giants. If he doesn't start, Kendrick Bourne, I'm okay with starting.
Okay.
The Giants give up the 7th most to wide receiver. They allow receivers to have the most yards against them and 2nd most receptions in the NFL.
Yeah, that's pretty bulletproof there. Yeah. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to go same game. Tyrone Tracy, he's got the role carved out. Unfortunately, Skattebo hurt last week, as we already mentioned. He's going to get the bulk of the role. At least the volume should be there. It should be a smart start. Pretty bulletproof there as well.
Yeah, I agree. Let's get into our sits, starting again with QB. Put Bo Nix on the bench.
Okay.
That was a hard one for me to say. Against Houston, the number 1 defense against the QB, and Nix has just been inconsistent.
Yeah, weird, but someone who's so good last year. But I'm going to go Jordan Love against Carolina.
Great game last week.
Yeah, great game last week.
Good defense.
Is a better defense. I don't know. And I also think he got lucky with the touchdowns. Like Jacobs, steals most of those most weeks. So, I say you sit Jordan Love.
At wide receiver, I have Zay Flowers against Miami with another big question mark. Miami has the number 2 pass defense right now, if you would believe that. And I feel like you just got to take that with a grain of salt. I think Zay Flowers will definitely be under 15, but I wouldn't be surprised if he went over.
Okay. I mean, a little bit of a risk there.
If you have someone else to start over him.
Exactly. I'm going to also say, maybe sit Nico Collins. It's looking like he's trending towards playing, but you hate to start someone who could be maybe dealing with like a possible snap count or something, coming with, off the concussion, and it's Denver. I mean, come on. That's just a bad matchup for the Texans, who have still been here and there. No consistency week to week.
I feel like it's been hard to sit receivers this week. I was looking pretty in-depth and it was pretty tough. But I will say, with the Broncos, PS2 might be out next week. So that is something to take consideration of for sure. But at running back, and you experienced this firsthand, Alvin Kamara, put him on the bench against the Rams. Number 3 rush defense in the league. Kamara's just been inconsistent, even in the pass game where he's really shined. Pass game.
Shown. I don't know. It's shined, probably.
Shined. Really been bright. I don't know.
He's been bright. Very nice. I'm going to go, you're not going to sit James Cook, but please know this. He's only ever averaged 46 yards per game against Kansas City. He's only ever averaged 12.5 attempts. We tend to split up the role a little bit when we get to Kansas City. We love the whole, James Cook is over here, but then, here comes Ty Johnson. 40-yard bomb down the field to Ty Johnson. We love that. We love that against the Chiefs. Anything that really, scrambles their brain. I think, unfortunately, even after watching James Cook go for 200 last week, we're going to turn our eyes a little bit regardless and just say, this is how you beat the Chiefs. You got to do all this scary stuff, And
then on the other side of that ball, I'm going to sit Travis Kelce against the Bills. They're going to make it a priority to stop him, and they're really good against the tight end this year. Number 2 in the league. Yeah,
the defense that Brock Bowers is playing is not very good. It's actually not very good against the tight end. They're actually 21st in allowing points to tight ends, but he's trending towards playing, by the way. I checked, and I just think the Raiders are so bad that it's not going to matter. If he's facing some kind of snap count, that's going to take into effect too. Just because he's playing, I know he's really good. There's so many viable tight ends this year. Seriously, there has been. Yeah. There's a bigger list this year than there was last year. I wouldn't be in a rush to get Brock Bowers back in there. I could very well eat my words, though.
No, I'll be starting him if he's healthy. I'll say that.
All right.
And then at flex for the final sit, Chuba Hubbard, unfortunately, against Green Bay is going to be on the bench. They're giving more to Dowdle. I think they kind of hinted at that in their press conference against a number 4 rush defense in the league. So not a guy you really want to start this week.
Yeah, and my last guy at flex, I'm just going to go Travis Etienne Jr. He hasn't been able to get into the end zone a lot, and he's playing a defense that you might think, okay, this week I think I can start him. You know, he's going against Las Vegas. They're not very good. This could very well be a game where the Jaguars are playing from, above, ahead in the game. I just still it feels like a trap. He's just still not going to play very well. I have a feeling so. And my feelings hit 50% of the time. So, flip a coin.
But that will do it for our fantasy starts and sits. Let's jump into our forecasts for next week. We can't tell you the weather, but we can make some predictions for the next week of football. Unfortunately, I am very bad at them. I was very bad last week. I'm 27-27 this year. I'm exactly 500. I need a bounce back week right now. And you are 33-21, so you're doing fine. Yeah. Let's start with that Thursday night game against the Dolphins and the Ravens. At the Dolphins, I'm going with Ravens. I mean, whatever.
Lamar's supposed to play, so Ravens.
And he owns the Dolphins when he plays them. I will say that as well. 1 p.m., Broncos at Texans. I thought this was a good game to circle. I'm going with the Broncos, though. I faded them last week, and they proved me wrong.
Yeah, but this is totally the week they just end up losing while we believe in them.
Probably.
Broncos. Yeah, I'm going to go with Broncos, but it's just going to be annoying when they don't win.
At 1 p.m., the always, who knows, Falcons versus the very consistent Patriots. I'm going to go with the Patriots here just so that if the Falcons do win, I'm not disappointed.
I just feel like the Falcons just win.
Oh, no.
They're so inconsistent. And they play up and down to competition. You really do. So give me the Falcons.
Then, of course, 4 p.m., the best game there is Chiefs at Bills. Bills are at home. This is my game of the week. I'm going with the Chiefs. Again, I can be disappointed.
Let's go, Buffalo. I'm going to go with the Bills this time. I always cancel it out, so I'm happy no matter what.
Yeah.
We're going to go for 100% happiness this week.
Yeah.
Or
it's good.
Or double sadness.
We'll see.
It's whatever. We'll see. What's new?
Sunday Night Football. Seahawks at Commanders. I'm going with the Seahawks here. I really like their team right now.
It's really hard to pick the Commanders after, yesterday, as of the time we were recording this.
They could easily win this one, though.
Yes. This game will be very close. I think the Seahawks' run defense has gotten a little bit better, and the Commanders still struggle to run the ball.
Yep.
So give me the Seahawks.
And then finally, Monday Night Football, kind of who cares game. Cardinals at Cowboys. Give me the Cowboys, whatever.
The Cowboys will try their best to lose this game. And they'll be very close at doing so, but I think the Cowboys pull it out.
And then finally, the lock of the week. My lock was incorrect last week. I went with the Falcons over the Dolphins. I didn't know Penix was going to be out. I didn't know Drake London was going to be out. It's my bad, guys. It's my bad. But I'm 2-1 now, James. You're still a perfect 3-0. I'm going with the Rams over the Saints this week. Hopefully get that win column back on track.
I'm going with the Thursday night game. Ravens over Dolphins, especially if Lamar's playing. I mean, he owns them, like you mentioned, and Derrick Henry's going to have a great day as well.
His debut game was against the Dolphins. He put up like 40, 50, something like that. I remember that game very, very vividly. It was my first year of fantasy.
Oh,
anyway,
that's good.
That will do it for this episode of Field Goals and Forecast. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you all next week. Happy Halloween, and go watch some football.
Peace.